Hello, welcome to another episode of Escaping the City. One of the reasons to leave a city is to do country things and to just be in the country. I figured I should do some countryside rather than just battling nature, which a lot of living in the countryside is, just dealing with, I don't know, all this kind of stuff, just loads of overgrowing hedges. But I'm off an adventure with my paddleboard, going down the Wye by bicycle. No car driving involved, unless something bad happens. And I have my trusty little lunch box here with not lunch in, but my phone and emergency number and stuff, and a bit of old inner tube cut up to I use inner tube for everything, not everything, I don't wear it, to tie it onto the paddleboard so it doesn't float off with my phone and such like. And I'm hoping to use this as a seat, because I'm going to mostly be sitting down on the paddleboard because I don't want to risk falling in the River Wye, because it has a bit of a reputation for not being the cleanest of places at the moment. But I'm prepared for it. I've got a life jacket. The worst thing is going to be the 250-metre climb up by bicycle, pulling this up to where I live. Well, that's got the bike and the trailer all locked up. Now, I hadn't noticed this sign when I came down for a recce before, and it is pretty forbidding, and I can't really argue. I'm neither swimming or in a boat, but I've come all this way down. I don't want to just turn around and come back, so I just hope nobody's going to see me. Here's the spot I've chosen as a launch spot, which is right underneath the Bigsweir bridge. I figure it's a bit out of the way of spectators, and it's got some nice rocks, and it's not all slippery and muddy. It is somewhat breezy, which is never a friend to a paddleboarder. It just happens to be the wind is going north, so upstream, which I figure is better than it going downstream and washing me out into the Severn potentially. Also, the tide is rising now. I've heard that the water is somewhat tidal around here, so hopefully the tide will be coming in and everything will be pushing me upstream rather than pulling me downstream. Though getting back down may be a bit of a struggle, so I'm going to limit how far upstream I go. But I hope the current will start going. Oh, in fact, no, it won't, will it? Because if the tide's coming up, I don't know. The river's going down, obviously, and there's a bit tidal towards the bottom of it, roughly where I am now. So I'll see how it works out. I've come upstream a bit now, and this is Bigsweir Bridge. I just pulled into the side. It's a little bit choppy in the middle, and quite a breeze behind me, pushing me away from the bridge. I've hardly paddled at all, and I'm living in fear of being told off. I always live in fear of being told off. I probably shouldn't be in here. Folks can tell me off in the comments if they want to. I did come across a big rock which tapped the fin, so that's something to watch out for if you do go in here. Himalayan balsam here. We've been pulling tons of it out of our garden. We've pulled, I think, thousands of plants out, and it's just colonising everywhere. And it's pretty enough, but it just invades and takes over, and for some reason nothing can compete with it. It's not hard to get out like bindweed. It's not prickly and it's not strong. It's not got deep roots, but it just seems to live and breed. And yeah, whoever bought it here should be, I don't know, made to eat it. Well, this is certainly the nice bit. I'm just being carried along by the wind up the River Wye, and nobody's telling me off at the moment. They probably have every right to. But it's going to be a bit more tiring coming back down, I think. This way I've just got to steer. Just reversed myself into this kind of willow cave and seen a open canoe just go past. So I'm not the only person on the river. Here's one of those interesting kind of rapids which I'm inevitably drifting towards. I've come across a few bits which are a bit of a pain to get out of. Usually some big rocks or just very shallow water, or a mixture of both. I'm actually out of the wind. This is a lovely still spot. Sorry I can't show you that many shots of me actually paddling along, but I did bring a little stand to put this camera on, and then I left it, I think, with my bike, so I can't really hold on to it and paddle, and if I put the paddle down I end up drifting into big rocks. So this should give you an idea of the kind of territory you might be paddling around in if you do go down here. Oh, on a practical note, my lunchbox. I've got a lunchbox for my, I think I said earlier, lunchbox to put all my stuff I don't want to get wet in, and I'm using it as a little seat because I tend to sit down when paddling, and it works very well as a seat to stop the strain on my feet. I think this is as far as I'm going to get upstream. I really feel like I'm paddling against the current now, and the wind behind me and any tide there is left isn't helping. So rather than struggle further and further, I'm going to head back down again. Okay, so this is what I was dreaming of, the downstream heading south into the light. Even though the wind is in my face and blowing me sideways, this is the feeling I was trying to get when I wanted to go out paddleboarding. I wasn't really getting it going the other way. I was thinking I was just paddling and it's not really very exciting, but well, not exciting, just not paddling. But I'd better get off camera before I hit things. So in the distance there you can see Bigsweir Bridge. I can't really come any distance at all, but it took some time and it was a bit of an adventure. So far, coming downstream has been easier than I thought. I'm out of the wind at the moment and actually drifting downstream with no paddling required, and I'm actually staying fairly straight, which is quite nice. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Okay, I'm on the approach to the bridge, I think, now, even though it's a lot further than it looks away, I'm sure. But I think this bit's going to be the windy bit, because wind always seems to go under bridges, whether it's in Bristol Harbour, which did a video about that recently. Another shot of Bigsweir Bridge, which had a wider zoom on this camera. And I'm just drifting in on the breeze to my landing spot. And here we are, back on, not quite on dry land. I'm not going to say dry land until I'm actually off the board and safe. But nothing too terrible happened, and it's really lovely. Coming downstream was so nice, even though it was a bit of a paddle at times, and getting into this landing spot wasn't as hard work as I thought. It didn't feel dangerous, but the wind and the current and everything was a bit choppy, and I had to concentrate and use a bit of muscle. All packed up, out of the water, no mishaps, and ready to cycle up a lot of hill with the trailer. But I noticed there are some other people on the water as well, some canoeists too, so boating can't be absolutely forbidden here. I don't really know quite how it works, maybe it's just not meant to be getting in and out here.